Hello there. Since so much time without having an episode, now we are, I think, on episode 18 of DevsWall. And as usual, we have a special guest. He is, you can see, he's Roberto Vargas. He's a senior engineer with more than 9 years of experience in the IT industry. But interesting, he's specialized in COBOL. He's a young guy who has most of his time doing mainframe and doing COBOL, which is really interesting. How are you, Roberto?
How are you, Hector? I'm fine. I'm here to talk a little speech about COBOL.
Nice, nice, perfect, perfect. That is really interesting because can we know how old are you? Just to know, because you're a COBOL engineer and you're young. Are you really young? How old are you?
Uh, um, Maybe I'm 32 years old.
Okay.
Um, mm,
Oh yeah.
I
So you're young for a COBOL developer,
I
as
I
as
think I
as
think so.
we know, as most people know. But we're gonna talk about all these kind of myths that we have on this later on. Uh,
Yeah.
but before that, I want to talk about your general experience. How did you start in the software or in the IT industry?
Okay. Well, I studied
Hmm.
computer science. First I'm from Michoacan.
Okay.
I studied computer science in the local university.
Okay.
When I finished my career, I decided to move to Mexico City and started as training, as COBOL training. Honestly, I didn't know COBOL before I start, and when when I s- when I was there, I started as trainee. Then I worked at banking mainly, like and some banks like Bancomer, Banorte, because they use COBOL in their platforms.
Nice, nice. So you started as a trainee. So you just went to Mexico City to get a job or something, right? And
Right.
you started as a trainee, and they assigned you to a project in COBOL, and you started learning COBOL there, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when I was studying, honestly, I didn't know COBOL, and I never heard about it.
okay.
I knew other languages like Java or C Sharp, C++, but not COBOL. Among others, but not COBOL.
Nice, nice. And how did you start? Did you start in a banking project? That your first project, or how did you learn COBOL? Or
Yeah.
did you learn it by yourself, or
No, I had an enterprise
okay,
in
like a
started
mhm.
a train program training
Hmm.
program about with COBOL, like the language we I don't know how
So
to say it.
so a specialized company. Well, like I would say a training company started
Uh,
a course in COBOL, and you joined that course, or
yeah, it's an Indian a company,
okay,
TCS,
okay, you
and
started in TCS. Okay.
yeah, and they decided to open a COBOL academy or
Oh, got it, got it. Okay, COBOL Academy.
yeah.
Were you okay? Okay, okay, okay. So that's where you started learning COBOL.
Yes.
But you were in Mexico City back then?
No, I was in Michoacan,
Okay.
and I saw on internet uh,
Okay.
the offer to start as trainee.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So you went to Mexico City to start like a trainee and learn COBOL there, and started
Yes,
then with a banking project.
yes, that's right.
And since then, how many years of experience do you have? Like, as I
I
said, like 9 years.
I have around of 9 years of experience working mainly at banking uh, in banking area.
Okay, nice, nice. Now we're gonna move to like specific topics
Okay.
because this is really interesting. First of all, there are a lot of people that think that there are like obsolete things or obsolete languages, and people think that this is the case for COBOL. Do you think that COBOL is dead?
I don't think that
Okay.
COBOL is dead
Okay.
because maybe too many people think that it's outdated or obsolete. But I was researching that most of the world's companies, largest companies in the world, still use COBOL in their systems.
Okay.
In fact, I have a data that a big percentage, around 95% of ATM transactions are, and around 70% of business process transactions still run on this language.
So you say 95% of ATMs of
Yes,
95 of ATM transactions are still done with COBOL.
yes, that's right.
World in the whole world, or
Um,
is it US, or
and
maybe it's in the whole world. I don't know.
I think it's in the whole world.
Okay, 90.
Honestly, I don't remember.
But it's anyway. That's a interesting number. Still 90 something percent doing
Yeah, in the
being.
shadows
Yeah,
for
exactly.
say
It will be
something.
there. Exactly. So because it's been used in the banking since so much time, and it's
Yeah,
not like you're gonna change a whole platform or something just because you want. It's not that easy, right?
yeah, yeah. Mainly when in companies has that have a big quantity of information, like banks or health insurance companies, for example.
Okay. So what was the other number you gave? You said 95% of ATMs, and the other number, what was that?
Yeah, around 70%
Uh huh.
of business process transactions, like in uh, bank transaction.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Makes sense, right? Having the banks 95% of the whole thing, yeah, makes sense. That still
Yeah,
a lot of transactions are still being done with COBOL, and nice, nice,
yeah,
perfect.
and for that reason, I think that COBOL still still
Still
how
is still alive,
still
very
exactly.
very much alive, right? I agree. As long as we still have people doing these kind of systems, and companies still requiring people with COBOL knowledge, it's pretty much alive, right? Excellent. Now, still going in this interesting topic about COBOL. Uh, by the way, I think the whole episode is gonna be about this, so be prepared. Uh, what do you think are some myths of COBOL? Maybe we already started this with a myth that people think is an old thing and it's dead, but it's obviously not. But what are some other myths that you know, or some information that you have?
For example, could be that the most of programmers who are experts are close to retirement.
Okay.
It's a myth, and I have I have some experience like that. For
Okay.
example, I remember when I started at COBOL, working with COBOL, when I had 1 year, like 1 year of
Hmm.
experience. I remember that in the company where I work, they hire people, retired people, retired people, because
Okay.
I don't know, young people don't want to learn it, or maybe I don't know, maybe as old people have skills that young people don't have at this time.
Okay. But so
And
you're
this specifically in COBOL, at COBOL.
okay. So you're saying some companies started hiring retired people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it's we can say that maybe it's half true that COBOL. That COBOL programmers, most of COBOL programmers are old people or people close to retirement.
Okay. So this myth could be half true.
Yeah, I think I know people that are close to retirement, but I know young people that recently have finished their university and start with working with COBOL as well.
Nice. Nice. Interesting. Do you, do you have any other interesting topic or any other myth that you want to share, or do you think?
Um, what's but well, I don't know. Maybe that it isn't a very known language. I don't know. I think um, is a language in the shadows for say something
Okay.
that not is not very known for most of the people.
And what do you think? That's just a myth, right? Like
Yeah,
that there is, well, obviously it is really widely known. I think it's
yeah,
not like maybe the younger generations don't. I don't know, but I think it's it has its own fame. I mean, it's really known, in my opinion.
yeah. Maybe not have the is isn't a very noun like, for example, Java or Python, other modern languages
Hmm.
that are most known.
Yeah, but
More,
it is. But exactly, maybe it's not trendy. I would say,
yeah.
but it is known. Exactly. Perfect. Do you have any other data here? Because I have some other questions.
No, I think it's all about the
Or
myths of COBOL.
perfect. Thank you, thank you. Um, and talking about these young generations and young people, how um, do you think young people would still be interested in COBOL, or what is your experience with this? Or how to, is it necessary that young people get some interested in COBOL? Does it happen? What do you think?
I think that most of in my own experience,
Mhm.
maybe not too much people, not too many people are interested in
Mhm.
COBOL. I remember, for example, in the academy, some people go leave the training, the train,
Okay.
because they don't like they say that it's very old, for example. But on the other hand, I know young people that recently finished their career, their university, and decided to make a career in programming in COBOL.
Nice. And how would you, I mean, would you encourage people to learn this language or to use this, or what do you think about it?
I
Or how
think
how would you engage new people in this?
I think is I think that you could give it an
Okay.
opportunity, and because it's a language that has for example nowadays there's too many offers to work with COBOL, and you can get a job.
Okay. So that is one of the advantage that you see. There are still offers,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
uh-huh. No, go ahead.
and the fact that from the other side, people on the other side, many programmers of many core programmers are all, maybe are old people close to retirement, and when they retire, will retire, companies will need new people to maintain, to give maintain to the
Mhm. Exactly. So yeah, basically something that it is out there. It's still a lot much required, and probably the competition won't be that. I don't know how to say this. Uh, Maybe it's something that you can give an opportunity, and might not be much competition there. Maybe I'm not sure, many people that are expert will retire. They are retiring, and people, I mean, companies still need those skills, still need experts in that language. So
yeah.
that's an interesting opportunity for anyone watching this. If you are interested in learning COBOL, this is one of the great advantages, I guess.
Yeah,
You can.
I really hope more young people get an interest
Mhm.
in, to learn COBOL.
Yeah, pretty sure, pretty sure. I knew. I mean, I remember I worked in TCS, and I knew many young people that worked in COBOL. I remember. So yeah, it's really cool, and probably there will be more needed because as you said, expert people are retiring. So still, all those systems need maintenance, need enhancements, need something, and it's out there. So you will have a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah, for example, I think companies, it's a personal opinion.
Okay.
I think companies don't want to take their chances to do a complete migration. For
Okay.
example, these companies that have a big quantity of information. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, for example, are millions and millions of transactions. Yeah, all the
Daily transactions.
daily transactions are millions.
Okay.
To migrate them, I suppose it's some difficult.
Yeah, I do agree. They don't want to take. They don't want to take the risk, right?
I
I
think,
don't know. It's not easy. I mean, it's just it is. It might take a lot of time to re-architecture everything and slowly transition. It will take time.
yeah,
That's also my opinion. So it's we will pretty have many offers in COBOL for all the people who's interested. So moving on, do you have an interesting story uh, about this language and how it began in this country in Mexico, right?
yeah. I remember when I started with COBOL. I remember my mentor said
Hmm.
that in the 80s, that in the 80s people from US, from
Hmm.
the United States, came to teach how to use COBOL. In those years, I understand there's not a specific computer science career, and they were recruited from other careers,
Okay.
like electrical or civil engineers, among others. For example, my mentor, I remember he said that he was a civil engineer,
Okay.
and that is a little. This is a little story. Uh, I knew about how COBOL come to begin in Mexico.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So it was, but in which how many years ago do you
Uh,
think?
was in the 80s, I think, if I remember well.
Okay. So more than 30 years ago, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
because
maybe to implement in banks, I think.
okay, perfect. So they came. Um, they were obviously in the 80s or 70s, 80s. There was no computer science, or there was not those that many people expert in these topics, right? So you need to get different sort of engineers, maybe electrical, mechanical, civil
Yeah,
engineers, and started training them in COBOL, right?
right. And in the US, I think they have more years working with all. There, in fact,
Obviously.
there was created.
Okay. All right. Nice. Nice. Interesting thing. Do you know what? I think I have it here. What does COBOL stands for? I have it. I have it here. It's COBOL stands for Common Business Oriented Language,
Yeah,
right? Common.
yeah.
It's
It's
COBOL.
specific, oriented to business, oriented to business.
Exactly. Common Business Oriented Language, and it's still and it is still a common business oriented language. I think that after so many years. Nice.
Yeah,
O-
and I think, Hector,
Mhm.
that how I say before, companies who have big quantity of information, but for example, maybe other companies who manage less information that for example a bank that manage too much information have been able to migrate to newer languages, and they don't use COBOL anymore.
Okay, well that's another thing. Maybe maybe smaller banks or smaller, obviously newer smaller companies will use other technologies.
Yeah,
But as you know, there are big companies that have been there for a while, for so many years, and that
yeah,
have, and the information that they have is so big and so important and so delicate, or
yeah,
so, how do you say, yeah, private and delicate, all that stuff. Um, so it's not easy to re-architecture or move.
yeah.
So, and talking about the new technologies, do you know how this language adapts to these new technologies?
Um, yeah. For example, I when you use your bank app or you go to the bank webpage, for example,
Uh-huh.
you can see a nice or user-friendly screen or interface, but all the backend information is stored in the database with COBOL programs.
Okay.
It's a good example how COBOL works with new technologies. How can it be adapted to meet today's needs?
Nice, nice.
For example, yeah,
Uh-huh. No, tell me, go ahead.
for example, a practic example it could be when you use your backup, you you make a spade, or you want to send an amount of money,
Hmm.
and you press the button, and the data you type
Uh-huh.
go through middleware, uh,
Okay.
the input data, and when in the middleware, call the service to the mainframe.
Okay.
In the mainframe receives the information and run the program, a specific program to do or to send and spay. But
Okay.
this specific program is in COBOL.
All right.
Okay, but when you receive a response from mainframe or COBOL, you can see it in your app. For example, I think this could be a good example of how COBOL works with new technologies.
Yeah, perfect. That's a really typical example, a spay payment.
Yeah.
Exactly. All the middle tier and backend is all in COBOL, right? Is there like a common database or a specific database that is used with COBOL, or is it?
The specific database where
Or
with
a,
I
a database engine, or a common database engine that you
yeah
use with COBOL, or?
yeah DB2 is
Okay,
the
DB2.
database where I work with.
Okay,
Well,
that you would say that's a common database engine that COBOL developers use.
yeah, it's DB2 from IBM.
IBM.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, nice, perfect, perfect. This is really cool information. Do you have like any advice for all? any the new people, the new generations on could be about your expertise in COBOL or could be about the tech industry. Do you what advice do you give the younger people?
In general, I think that study computer science is
Okay.
a really good choice because technology goes with keeps improving,
Hmm.
keep, and I think that one is one of the most um, is one of the best careers to study.
And
Spec-
why do you think is one of the best careers in your
because,
opinion?
in my opinion, because there are too much work nowadays and in the future, and have many areas where you can where you can do, for
Yeah,
example, networks or database programming or big data, among others.
yeah, exactly. Totally agree. Most of people that I have done episodes with many people, and we all agree on that. I mean, if you want to study computer engineering or something related,
Yeah,
it's a cool time now because there is a lot of work. There's a lot of areas like you say, big data, artificial intelligence. Uh, I don't know, DevOps,
yeah,
programming. A lot of programming has its own divisions.
yeah.
Uh,
The cloud.
exactly, cloud computing, databases, so much stuff in this area. In I remember in when I started, it wasn't that big. It wasn't that divided. It was just programming, and you do everything. Now it's split up. Now we have back end, front end, security engineers, DevOps, DevOps, cloud computer experts. Oh man, it's so much divided now.
Yeah,
So much expertise, different areas of expertise nowadays, which is cool in a way. It's cool. Some
yeah,
things come and go, but in general, I think the tech industries will be will be like trendy for a while for us involved in software.
yeah. And specifically in COBOL, I
Hmm.
think if you like to maintenance old systems, or maybe is the COBOL is that you can is one language that you can choose.
Okay, is one of them. If you want to maintain legacy applications which are really interesting or for banking or healthcare,
Yeah, exactly.
you will have plenty of work to do.
Yeah,
COBOL is one of the options. Really cool, interesting. Well, I think we reaching to the final of this episode. Thanks a lot for your time, Roberto. This was really cool, really
you're
cool.
welcome, Hector. Was really nice talk with you about these topics, and remember you study computer science.
Yeah, everybody, if you watch this and you don't study computer science, go ahead and study computer science, or do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Thank you, thanks again, Roberto, and everyone who watched this. Thank you. See you next time.
See you.